the voice of the Carolinas. Now here's Odi.
Well, hello there, and you are very welcome to Sunday Nights with me, Odi Fitzgerald. You notice I'm a little bit hyper tonight? Any ideas why that is? No? I do. I know exactly why it is. On the show tonight, we're just a few hours away. Actually, do you know what? Do you know what I need to do? I just need to hit that button there, and I need to hit this button there. Oh, yes. What a great time to be an American. On the show tonight, just a few hours away from President Donald J. Trump taking office yet again. I'm going to be letting you know what to expect. Joey Hudson, you know Joey. Early morning Joey, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. He's going to be joining me live from our nation's capital. That's a great song. I love that song. And I'm going to be talking about the TikTok blip. Oh, it's going to be a good one tonight. It's going to be a good one tonight. I want to hear your thoughts today, tonight, tomorrow, whatever, on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line. Text line is open right now, 800-905-0989. And if you want to talk to Odi, which you might, because there's a lot of very excited people out there tonight, including Odi, because he's got this in the background. You can get me on the PhD weight loss talk line, 800-905-0989. It's kind of the same as the text one. Yeah. One number does it all. Oh, it is a night. I'm excited. You know, I'm giddy. I'm a little bit kind of giddy. Text line is already hopping, absolutely going. Odi, it's going to be cold in the morning. It is going to be a cold one tonight. It's going to be very cold. Faucet drip time. Do we need to do that? I think we might need to do that. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I'm not giving any advice. Not going to do anything. No. But yeah. So this is. I was here when Sleepy Joe came into office. I was here in America when it happened. And, you know, didn't think much of it at the time. Didn't really think much of it. I watched it. I gave a little look. And I wasn't too happy about it. And, you know, he was coherent for a little bit. But tomorrow's going to be different. Because I'm excited. Very excited. Actually, shall we hear a little bit from the main man himself? Let me just pop this one on here. And let's see what happens when I press this button.
The curtain closes on 4 long years of American decline. And we begin a brand new day of American strength and prosperity, dignity and pride. Since the election, the stock market has surged and small business optimism has soared a record 41 points to a 39-year high. Bitcoin has shattered one record high after another. Every radical and foolish executive order of the Biden administration will be repealed within hours of when I take the oath of office. Very soon we'll begin the largest deportation operation in American history, large and evil, even larger than President Dwight Eisenhower, who has the record. I also want to send our love to everyone affected by the terrible wildfires raging in California. We're praying for you all. We love you all. We're going to be there very soon. I'm going to go out there on Friday to see it and to get it moving back. We're going to get some of the best builders in the world. We'll get it moving back.
There we have. That was Donald Trump earlier on today. You know, he's president-elect for a few more hours. 12 o'clock tomorrow. 12 o'clock tomorrow. It is all going to change. Everything is going to... it's just going to be nice. You know what I mean? Going to be nice. On the text line, Odi, shout out to Kid Flaccid, 15 hours and 15 minutes until we get a real president again. Yes, it is. Don't forget, you can join me live on the stream. Excuse me, a little bit excited. My throat is closing up a little bit. We're on the stream. You can get me on that on the WOR page or on my own Facebook page, Odi Fitzgerald. And we already have Robert who's been dropping us a line. It says, "Go Trump." We call him Sleepy Joe, but we were sleeping when he got elected. Yes, we were. Robert, there you go, buddy. That's exactly what was happening. So what do we know about Donald John Trump? Well, I mean, there's a few people know everything about him. And I've been learning up. He was born in June 14th in 1946, and media personality. Long before he was into politics and into the presidency, he's always had the little dabble going into politics. But then again, he's a businessman. I mean, the man he's made millions and millions of dollars from being a businessman. And that's something I've always said, is that if you're going to be in charge of a country, then you need to have a business brain about you. You need to have an economical brain about you, because running a country is exactly the same as running a business. You've got different sectors, you've got different managers doing different things for you, different secretaries. Yeah. Secretary for Defense, he's a manager for the defense crew. Secretary for Health, that's the manager for the health system. Secretary for Education, that's the manager for, and you've got to have the right people. I want to know your thoughts. Are the right people coming into office? I think I know the answer. A little bit more about Donald. When he won, as you know, the 2024 president election as a Republican Party nominee. Oh yes. And he will be sworn in tomorrow, midday, in Washington, D.C. I'm going to be telling you a little bit about what to expect tomorrow, because it is going to be cold. It's going to be very cold. And you know as well, a couple of extra things about Donald. Well, he graduated with a bachelor's degree in economics from the University of Pennsylvania in 1968. I wasn't even a thought. And then he became the president of the Trump family real estate business in 1971. And he focused on luxury accommodations. I mean, we've seen Trump Tower. Yes, we have. I have been lucky enough to be in there many years ago. I think it was 2000. Oh no, it was back in 1998 or 99. I think it was 98. I was up in New York City, and I took a little stroll into Trump Tower. I was impressed. When I come back, I'm going to be talking to Joey Hudson, who is joining me live from Washington, D.C. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Donald Trumps.
Keeping you informed and engaged. And live on the Odyssey app. This is Sunday Nights with Odi Fitzgerald.
On News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. Attention terrorists, hold on. Here's Tara's Daily Rant.
RFK is a victim of those agencies. That steals the spine. That's why Trump wants Matt Gaetz, because he is a victim of a smear job, the wrap-up smear by the Department.
News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center. Clear skies tonight with a low of 19. Northwest winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Ample sunshine expected again tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 34. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki from the News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center. Currently, it's 37 degrees.
The dogs and cats at Greenville County Animal Care are just waiting to meet their friends.
Sorry, I meant to turn that off. I need to turn that one off as well. No, I didn't push the wrong button. I just left a button turned on. Good at turning buttons on. That's about all. Did I say that? Was that out loud? Anyway, Danny, I can't get noobed on this show because it's my show. My show. And you're very welcome back to Sunday Nights with Odi Fitzgerald. Now, joining me live from Washington, D.C. is our roving correspondent, Joey Hudson. Joey, how are you this evening, sir?
I am wonderful, Odi. Good evening to you. I stepped out for a minute. I am at the Palmetto Ball, which is the South Carolina State Society's ball, celebrating the inauguration of Donald Trump tomorrow.
Yep.
There's, I don't know, about 1,500 people here from all around South Carolina, folks who work here in D.C. from South Carolina,
Yep.
and everyone is just celebrating what's going to happen tomorrow.
So, Joey, what is the current mood in and around, not only in at the ball this evening, but in around the Capitol today?
Well, it's been a mood of festivity. You know, a lot of people, of course, disappointed that we're not going to be able to actually watch the inauguration tomorrow.
Yeah.
But everyone has had a good attitude about it. We went over earlier today and picked up our tickets from Congressman William Timmons' office. And, of course, they're worth nothing. They're not going to get us into anything tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But just the fact that they're a commemorative item, they're something that we can remember, know that we were at the Trump inauguration. People haven't really been upset about it. I mean, they're disappointed, but of course, there are a lot of other parties and viewing parties, South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, I think it is. They've come together and put together a viewing party tomorrow at a hotel. So a lot of people have sort of dropped back. They punted and thought, well, how can we make the best of this? And so everyone, although there's disappointment, everyone is making the best of it because they're just excited to see Donald Trump sworn in tomorrow.
That's true. And as you say, the ticket that you have, it is absolutely, I mean, I don't have one of them. It's something you can put up on your wall and say, well, I was there. I was
Yep.
in DC when Donald Trump became number 47 again.
Exactly. And it's a nice invitation, Odi. It's engraved, it's gold, and so it's a very nice one, and it will look good on my wall.
It will. Put it into a frame, pop it up on the wall.
Exactly.
Now, So, I mean, there was two horses in the race. Have you seen any of any Democratic people? Are they behaving themselves? Are they, keeping a stiff upper lip? And, as we done last, was it 4 years ago? Are they being gracious in defeat?
Well, overall, yes. The answer to that is yes, they are.
Good.
We just on the way over to the Smithsonian tonight for the ball, we passed an area that they had demonstrators in earlier, and it was disappointing because they had crews out there literally cleaning up their trash.
Oh.
My wife Peg made the comment to me, you would think that they would at least clean up after themselves. But overall, there hasn't been any really bad demonstrations where it's prevented someone from going somewhere. Now, security is very tight. You can't get anywhere in the downtown area around the Capitol, fenced off completely. I mean, every other block, like our car to get us here to the ball tonight, we had to get out about 4 blocks down the road, come through a security checkpoint, to even get into the mall to get to the Smithsonian tonight. So security is at a high level. And it was interesting too, Odie, coming up on Saturday, of course, you know, we go through TSA at GSP.
Mhm.
I've never had this happen before, though. When we got to our connecting flight, we had to, they had TSA agents at the gate checking us again before we boarded the flight to
Right.
Washington, D.C. I've checked with some others, and that seemed to be happening at airports all around the country. So they were double checking passengers when you got on a flight directly into Washington.
Mhm. Joey Hudson joining me live from Washington, D.C. On the inauguration eve. He's at the South Carolina Ball in Washington, D.C. Joey, with all of the security, like the extra security, and obviously there's a lot of police force, there's a lot of military, and a lot of Secret Service are in and around all of the buildings. Do you feel perfectly safe, right?
I do. And you cannot walk anywhere and not see a battalion of National Guard. And they're from all around the country, Odie. At the hotel we're staying in, there are law enforcement everywhere from, so far I've counted 6 different states that I have met law enforcement officers there, sheriff's deputies, police officers, and National Guard from a lot of states too.
Right.
So, you know, I feel completely safe. It has not even crossed my mind, actually.
Good. And I suppose all of those guys, all the law enforcement and the military that are there, I mean, they're happy to be there, and they're happy to be protecting our new president and the people that are going to see it as well. And they don't want to see anything go wrong. I mean, they're delighted to be representing as well.
They're very happy to be here. And although no one has really said this directly to me, just in talking with them, I kind of sense a relief that we're going to have a president now who supports them and supports what they do and supports law and order. Indeed.
Definitely, indeed. Joey Hudson joining me live from Washington, D.C. Joey, what are we going to see tomorrow? What is going to happen tomorrow? I know the everything has been moved indoors because of the extreme cold, but will everything remain pretty much the same?
Well, as far as the swearing in itself, yes. Of course, you know, it'll be in the rotunda. There'll be a lot fewer people, obviously. I mean, there've been over 200,000 tickets issued for tomorrow, and that's just tickets to designated areas. Who knows how many other people would have shown up to be in the standing room only area. But tomorrow in the rotunda, every member of Congress has been invited. They cannot bring their spouse or any staff members, just the members of Congress. So, you know, there'll be about 600 to 700 people there. Of course, the Supreme Court justices and the top Trump appointees that we know of now, and his family, and that's it. And it will be the typical swearing in. He will have 2 Bibles, we're told, that he will place his hand on. One of those, his family Bible, which means a lot to him, a Bible that his mom gave to him many years ago, and then, of course, the Lincoln Bible.
Right.
And that means a lot to him because I've heard and read several different places where, you know, he's talked about how since a couple of brushes literally with death this past summer, that his faith has grown, and he understands that he is here by the grace of God.
He is indeed. He definitely is.
Yes.
Joey, have you any advice for anybody that would be traveling? Now, I know it's late in the evening, but anybody that's going to be traveling to DC tonight or tomorrow?
I would say give yourself plenty of time because things are going slow here. Of course, we got some snow this afternoon, so that kind of slowed things down even more. It was snowing as we came over to the ball tonight, but just give yourself plenty of time and know that there's going to be a lot of delays because, again, a lot of roads are blocked off. They're fencing in different areas, and so you really can't get but within about a mile and a half of the Capitol building and some of the main House and Senate buildings.
Yeah. So a lot of it is closed off, and it well should be. I mean, it's such a high security stake, and you know,
exactly.
They obviously don't want a lot of people that could interfere or mess up anything. And I strongly believe that nothing like that is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, if you could sum up the atmosphere in the area tonight, what would it be?
I would say, if I could sum it up in one word, that would be hope. People have hope that our country can be turned around, that we're going to have much better days ahead of us, and that, you know, Donald Trump, he's already announced over 200 executive orders he's going to sign tomorrow afternoon. And we're going to start seeing our borders secure. We're going to start seeing our economy turning around to where things are more affordable, to where you can go to the grocery store and literally afford what you buy at Ingles. And So, hope. That's the single word that sums things up tonight. And enthusiasm. People, because of that hope, they're enthusiastic for the future.
And do you think that a lot of people that may have been on the Democrat side may be thinking about possibly switching because of everything that Donald Trump is after doing in the last couple of weeks?
Well, I think there's a lot more people who maybe have been in the middle of the road or slightly leaning to the left who understand that we have to make some changes if our country is going to be great again, and if everybody can just, again, if things could be affordable, if we can afford to fill up a tank of gas.
Exactly.
So yes, I think. But here's the other thing that I've noticed though is compared to 4 years ago, there isn't the resistance to Donald Trump, even though, and this pertains to some of the people who are in the media, in the mainstream media. They're not going after him like they did before. I think they recognize that he is going to do good things. He's had 4 years to think about this, and I think they have a bit of hope because even though they didn't want to admit it, they knew that Joe Biden was just a disaster, and we couldn't afford 4 more years of him.
No, that is definitely true. Joey Hudson joining me live from Washington, D.C. Joey, last question for you. Do you think the big man himself is going to make an appearance at the South Carolina Ball tonight? Are we going to be lucky enough?
I was told earlier today that Governor Henry McMaster has tried to call in all the chips and tried to encourage, because his rally was just down the road. He had a couple other events here very close to where we are. Who knows? Nobody knows for sure where he's going. When we leave here, we're headed over to Charlie Kirk's Turning Point Ball, and we know for sure Don Jr. is going to be there.
Awesome.
And so there's speculation that maybe he'll show up there too. So I'm thinking that out of one of the two, I'm hopefully going to see Donald Trump tonight.
Joey Hudson, thank you so much for taking a bit of time to have a little conversation with us, and we hope to talk to you very, very soon.
Always a pleasure, Odi. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. Joey Hudson there joining me live from Washington, D.C. He's at the South Carolina inauguration ball, having a good time. He's having a good time. He says his spirits are very high, and, everybody's very happy that, I think everybody's very happy that Donald is back in. Excuse me. I'm not too sure what side of the fence you sit, but I think, and from what Joey's saying, it's going to go down. It's going to be a nice day tomorrow. It's going to be a good day tomorrow, and hopefully he might get a chance to see the Donny. You never know. He might get a chance. But I believe that spirits are high, and as he said himself, he's looking forward to a great day. Going to be very cold. Going to be very, very cold, but it's still going to be a great day. Now, as you know, it's going to be very cold, and I said that. And tomorrow, you know what's happening tomorrow? Yes, Donald is he's going to be taking office. Yeah, he is. He is. I'm looking forward to it. And when I come back, I'm going to be chatting a little bit about what we can expect to see tomorrow. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WRD. It is the voice of the Carolinas. Yes, water. I'm only happy when it rains. Sorry, song is stuck in my head. If you're new to the show on the stream, I stream constantly. I don't stop streaming until the show is over. So whatever I do, you see it. If I mess up, then you know it's there. Try not to. Try not to. I'm only happy when it rains. That's because I'm Irish. We like the rain. I need a haircut again. It's falling out though. So, yeah. Pour that melody. If there is anything, if you're on the stream, because it's just the stream that is hearing this now, because I'm not on the air at the minute. Well, I will be. I'm on the ad breaks at the minute. But if there's anything you want to hear me talk about, then let me know. Ooh, my eyebrows are getting really long. I have long eyebrows. Oh, that melody down. Don't forget the big shooting competition between myself and Bill Frady. Brain fart there for a second. That's happening. That's happening. That's happening this year. That covers a lot of bases. Yes, I know, because the year is only pretty much just started. Pretty much. Oh, yeah, melody down. I'm going to have to listen to that song before the end of the show. Maybe I have it here. I'll check in the next ad break and see if I have it, and I can probably play it. I'm not playing them out on the stream because I'm playing copyrighted songs, so I can't play them on the stream. But you know what it is time? It's time for me to go back on the air. And you're very welcome back. A little bit hyper, a little bit giddy in the show tonight. Can't imagine why. I was talking to Joey Hudson there. Joey is he's up in Washington, D.C. He was telling us what is happening in and around the city. Lots of security, but I mean, that's to be expected. It is to be expected. As you know, President-elect, we only got to call him that, as the texter said, 15 hours and 50 minutes. So that's probably, he said that a few minutes ago, it's 15 hours and 30 minutes. We will no longer be calling him President-elect. We will be calling him President Donald J. Trump. He's going to be inaugurated tomorrow. He'll be taking the oath of office, which formally kicks off his second term in the White House. Yeah, second term. The inauguration marks the official transfer between presidential power. So Sleepy Joe is gone and the Donald is in, with the executive branch changing hands from the Biden administration to the Trump administration. It's the 20th amendment state of the president 4-year term ends at noon on January 20th, which is tomorrow. And the new president is sworn in very shortly afterwards. So what can you expect? What's going to happen tomorrow? I know there's a lot of people have a day off tomorrow because it is, of course, Martin Luther King Day, and there's a lot of people are going to be off. I'm not. I'm going to be working. But what can you expect? What can you expect to see if you're watching on the TV? You could very well, like Joey, be up in Washington, and because of the cold weather, everything's been moved indoors. You could be watching it in a hotel, or you could be watching it in any number of places. I mean, as Joey was saying to us, he's going to where is he? I think he was going to a venue, and they were going to be showing everything. So what can you expect to see? Well, there's going to be the procession to the Capitol. Now, yesterday, Donald Trump and his entire family. Well, the first lady. Is she the first lady yet, or the first lady incumbent? I think. Yeah, anyway. And their son boarded Aircraft 2. A lot of people are saying it was Aircraft 1. It's not yet. Not quite yet. It is the smaller aircraft. Aircraft 1, as you know, is a Boeing 747. It is a fortress in the sky, pretty much. And Air Force 2 is a smaller aircraft. I think it's a 737. I could be wrong. Could be an Airbus. Not 100% sure. I need to double check my facts on that one. I'm sorry if I didn't have them. But Air Force 1, as you know, is the call sign when the president is on the aircraft. And yes, I know what you're going to say to me, but there's always two of them fly together. Yes, there is. There's always two Air Force Ones flying together, just in case. You never know. The procession is going to happen in the Capitol tomorrow. The vice president swearing in ceremony, that's going to happen first. And then there is going to be, in the rotunda, the presidential swearing in ceremony. And as we heard from Joey there, he's going to be swearing in on both Bibles. It's going to be the Trump family Bible, and it is going to be the Lincoln Bible. And as Joey said, because of everything that has happened in the last couple of months, very unfortunate events. There was 3. I can remember reporting on 3 separate incidents in which Donald Trump's life was in stake. And Donald Trump has come out and he said that he has greater faith because he believed that there was an intervention, that a divine intervention, if you will. Let me know your thoughts. As always, the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line is wide open, 800-905-0989. Or if you want to give me a call, you can do that on the PhD Weight Loss Talk line, which is also 800-905-0989. See, this is why I absolutely love my listeners. Texter says, Odi, I think Air Force 2 is a Boeing 757. That is ringing bells, Texter. It is. Odi on the text line, Odi, Kid Rock was great today. He performed at the Trump inauguration and he was awesome. I think that was the victory. Was that the Trump victory rally? I think it was. I think that was today. Tomorrow, getting back to tomorrow, after the presidential swearing in ceremony, there's going to be the inaugural address. And that's pretty much Donald is going to, he's going to thank a lot of people and he's going to let people know how he got to where he is, and he'll thank the outgoing. He will thank Sleepy Joe, and probably more than likely offer to buy him some ice cream because that's a nice thing to do. And there's going to be the honorary departure of the outgoing president and the vice president. Do you remember her? What's she do? Did you see an interview that she did not so long ago? Probably in the last 2 or 3 days. And I don't want to snook it. You see, I can't really say anything, but she seemed a little bit under the weather, just a little bit, just ever so slightly, just kind of. I'm not going to go into it, but her speech was a little bit slower than normal. Not really saying anything about that. She sounded like she had been, I dare to say, partying, possibly. Don't really think a politician should be making a speech when they're feeling a little bit under the weather. Should they? I don't know. But anyway, yes, the honorary departure of the outgoing president and the vice president. And then there's going to be the signing ceremony. during which the new president signs memorandums and proclamations and executive orders. It's going to be the inaugural luncheon. Yeah, I'd like that. I would like to go to that. Wouldn't that be fun? The luncheon. I bet it's all, prim and proper and, keep your elbows off the table. And no, they're not serving grits. No. They might have some mashed potatoes covered in silky smooth. Hang on. Where is it? Oh, I need to put this one up here. There. And you just pop this one on here. They could be serving some mashed potatoes with some silky smooth Kerrygold Irish butter. Someday, Kerrygold are going to sponsor me. I don't know when. What have we? Oh, the text. I can't read that out. I cannot. Yeah. 634. I can't. We'll just say that certain person that you're referring to is going to have a jolly good time tomorrow. Yeah, kind of an Irish time. Not going to say any more than that. So we're talking about the luncheon. What are they going to have? I'd love to know what they're going to have. Do you know what? I'm going to look that up. Over the 9 o'clock news, I'm going to look up the luncheon and what's going to be served because it'd be nice. And there's going to be the pass and review, during which the president and the vice president review military troops. And there's going to be a presidential parade. Actually, do you know that the Diamond D Cowgirls from Georgia are going to be they're going to be taking part in the parade. So anybody that has any affiliation with those girls must be very proud. I know I'm extremely proud of them. They're going to be taking part in the parade tomorrow as well. I hope the parade is still going ahead. That's going to take part in the capital area of downtown. Listen, Washington is going to be very cold. It's going to be very, very, very cold tomorrow. The inauguration starts about 11:30 a.m. and the teeing up will hopefully be around noon when he becomes president. And the proceedings, they normally last about an hour. When Donald was sworn in as president, the last time it took about an hour in 2017. And when Joe Biden was inaugurated in 2021, it took about an hour. So, it kicks off at about 11:30. Yeah. Odi, on the text, I know you appreciate you. You so nice to have local radio on a Sunday nights. Also, you can tell me what the word is. And oh, yes. So when I sign off at the end of the show, I say goodbye to everybody, but I always say Slán Abhaile. And it's a little bit of Irish. And I have no problem if people want to learn a bit of Irish. I can help you out a little bit. Slán Abhaile means safe home. Slán it's kind of goodbye, see you later, talk to you soon. And Abhaile is to your house. So it's kind of goodbye to your. There's no direct translation, but it means safe home. So that's what I say at the end of every show. It's Slán Abhaile. And I'm not going to spell it for you because it will mess you up completely. It is not spelled anyway, even slightly, how it is pronounced. Not even slightly. There's things called fathers. Not a father, a fada, which is a little tick over some of the letters. Yeah, they will mess you up completely if you try to. If you're not an Irish speaker and you're reading Irish language, it's a little bit out there. So yeah, as I said, coverage will be all day tomorrow. We will be covering it here live in the station, and it's going to be an absolutely fantastic day. When I come back, I'm just going to say one word, and I want your text messages in. TikTok. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. Now let us go to the stream, see what's happening on the stream. Hello, Christopher. Thank the Lord in heaven that Trump is going to be president tomorrow. You know, Chris, not a praying man, but thank somebody. Say God bless to all here when I enter the house. That's an Irish one, man. God bless all in this house. Yeah. I thought Irish was spelled. I will talk about that, Texter, when we come back. Yes, she was, Chris. Sorry about that, Chris. Chris, when did your people come over? Obviously, what, 2 generations ago? And where were your people from? Do you remember? I think I asked you before. Let me know. As everyone knows, I'm from Cork. I'm from Cork, boy. Down in the south in the country in Cork. I love Cork. I like the float. Cork's float. 19. Ah, okay. So the left just after the war. Okay. Hey, Danny, Cork is better than Westmeath, boy. Do you like that, Danny? Do you like that? All right, I'm going back on radio. Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 800 905 0989. You can get in touch with me there anytime you want. Text complain. I thought Irish was spelt that way to keep the English from being able to read it. Well, Texter, here's the thing. You may not know it, but the Irish language and the Irish spelling of everything and the Irish writing down is probably about maybe 3,000 years older than English. I'm not. This is not. This is not a flex. But the Irish language is one of the oldest languages on the planet. Yep, it is one of the oldest languages. It has been. They reckon it's about 7,000 years old. And yeah, so it's around for quite a while, and a lot actually. Now that I have you, I'm going to talk about TikTok in a second. I don't want to give it too much, but I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Now that I have you, you know the phrase to dig something. Like if you're talking about something and you say you dig, like you dig, you get it. That actually comes from the Irish word dig'em. So if you wanted to ask somebody in Irish if they understand something that you're saying, it'd be like dig'em who? That's who is you. It's to depending on if it's male or female. There's lots of different pronunciations for it. But if you wanted to ask someone if they understood something in Irish, you'd say dig 'em who. And that, when Irish people came to America, it was actually in and around the Harlem area. It turned into you dig. So, if you say to someone, well, you dig, it's like it's an Irish word. It's do you understand? There you go. There is a lot actually in maybe later on I'll see if I can pull out some Irish words that you use. There's a lot of Irish words that you use. Yes, there are. Now, last night, before we all went to bed, I was on it. I was on TikTok. I was. And all of a sudden, TikTok stopped. About 11 o'clock last night, TikTok said, no, not going to do it. When I woke up this morning, I gave it a look at it again. I was like, no, you're not. No, you're not getting it back. No, it's gone forever. And then at about 11 o'clock this morning, all of a sudden, I got a notification. TikTok is back and you can use it again. The statement from TikTok said that its video platform is coming back online after President-elect Donald Trump provided the necessary assurance that the company's service providers, in an agreement with our service providers, TikTok, and is in the process of restoring service. This is what went out earlier on today. TikTok said in a post on X, "We thank President Trump for providing the necessary clarity and assurance to our service providers that they need to face no penalties, providing TikTok to over 170 million Americans and allowing over 7 million small businesses to thrive." Now, the thing is, right, my thoughts on TikTok. A lot of people do. Now, it may upset some people. And yes, I know there was a lot of small businesses, obviously over 7 million small businesses who are on TikTok, okay? But I have a little problem with TikTok. I really do. The problem I have with TikTok is that 99% of it is not even slightly original. It's not. It's repetition. You remember a certain young lady, the Hawk something lady. I'm not going to be vulgar. I'm not. Absolutely everybody was saying something about it. They were replicating it. It was on every feed. You couldn't go onto TikTok about 6-7 months ago, whenever she got famous for 4 seconds. It was everywhere. It was like, give it that. And, everybody knows it. Everybody knows exactly the line that she said. It was absolutely everywhere. And it was just repetition. It was just over and over again, the same thing over and over and over. And I can't stand that because I've talked about it before. I am a content creator, but I don't copy anybody else's stuff. And maybe it's because I done stand-up comedy for quite a while. And when you copy somebody's stuff, that's plagiarism. You can't do it. You're not allowed to do it. You don't plagiarize anybody else's work because there's absolutely no original thought. Otherwise, you're just lip syncing. You're taking somebody else. You are taking the idea that somebody else had, and you're making it your own, right? And they could have had a very good idea, and you're taking their idea. Now, yes, I know there's a lot of people out there who have their own ideas. But as they say, there is 170 million Americans on TikTok. That's just in America. I've friends all over the world. I've friends in Australia, I've friends in Canada, friends in Ireland, England, France, Germany, everywhere, all over the world. And they're all on TikTok. There is, I would hesitate to say there's 1 billion people on TikTok. But it's not, as I say, 99% is repetition. It's the same thing over and over again. And it's young girls doing stuff on it that they shouldn't be doing. If you're going to be famous, if you want to get out there, if you want to get your 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes of fame, don't be rocking up onto these, social media, word gone for a second, the social media platforms in not much more than you were born in. Don't do that. And another thing. Oh, okay. Odie's gone into a rant. Another thing. Don't be doing stupid things to your kids to get. Do you remember before the Christmas, the Grinch was a big deal? You remember all the TikToks? I know, I'm going to say it now to absolutely every single parent out there that decided that the funniest thing in the world ever was to videotape their kids being traumatized. Small little kids. I've got a 4-year-old boy, my little boy Lachlan. I wouldn't do that to him. I'm not going to traumatize my son. First of all, I'm not going to put him on TikTok because, and I don't put him on my public Facebook feed because it's his decision whether he wants to be in media or not. I'm in media. I work in media. I'm everywhere. I will do funny things online and I would let people giggle and laugh at my expense. No problem. But I'm not going to put my son on any of those platforms because it is not his choice. Now, if he came to me and said, Dad, I want to be on your Facebook feed and I want to do funny stuff with you. Yeah, no problem. I'm going to say exactly, do you know what this entails? Yeah. But all those people that were scaring the living crap out of their kids with the Grinch coming in, stealing all their presents. Nah, you need to be ashamed of yourself. You really do. It's not funny. It's not funny. Why are you going to giggle from traumatizing your kids? And the other thing, stop copying everybody else's stuff. And yes, I know, I understand there is 7 million small businesses who thrive on TikTok. It is a fantastic place to get your information. If you get I will be going through TikTok and I'll see something. Like, oh, I might talk about that on the show. You know, it'll trigger something in my brain. It'll give me a little bit of information of something that's happening. There is good things to it. There is very good things to it. But we need to stop making people famous that are doing nothing, that are doing silly stuff, and that are replicating somebody else's information and somebody else's stuff. It just needs to stop. I know. Look at Odie went on a little bit of a rant, and look at, I'm glad it's back. As I said many a time, I sometimes spend at least 20 minutes in the smallest room in the house, just death scrolling on TikTok. It's fun. Enjoy it. When I come back, more updates on what's happening tomorrow. Something's going on. I don't know what's happening. News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. Scotland is as good as Ireland, man. No, Danny, we're not talking about that. Cannot talk about that. Cork forever, boy. Grandfather died in the war in 1940. Oh, wow. Grandmother and father came to America in 1948. That is actually cool, man. China. What's this song? Nope. Oh, yeah, I love that song. Sorry, I'm finding songs. Oh. See, I missed phone call because I was picking. Oh. News Talk 98.9. Hey, how are you? How are you? You good? Oh, I can bring it into the next segment. No, you're good. You're good. Hang on the line and I'll get you. I'll have you on air in about a minute. That be good? All right. You good? You're okay to go on air? All right. Hang on the line. Ba, 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 da, ba. Michaela, where are you calling from, darling? Oh, okay. Hang on the line. Shall we do radio again? I believe we shall. And you're very welcome back. Just before the news, I was talking about TikTok and about people scaring their kids. Text her to the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 800-905-0989. Odi, what about the Krampus? Much more scarier than the Grinch. Yeah, but people weren't exploiting it. They weren't making, from what I think, they weren't putting their kids unnecessarily on TikTok. And joining me on the PhD weight loss talk line now is Michaela, who's calling in from Clemson. Michaela, what is it about TikTok that kind of, first of all, do you like TikTok?
Yes, I use the TikTok every single day.
Okay, so what's your have you a small business or do you work for a business that's on TikTok?
I do work for a business that is on TikTok. I won't disclose it here, but I also have many friends who own small businesses.
Okay.
Who use TikTok to promote sales for themselves. And I also have seen how it has affected our economy on a much larger scale in large corporations, actually. I've seen profits go up for them as well because of this app.
Okay. So how do you think it reaches people? I mean, like I was talking about earlier on, I was talking about the fact that there's a lot of repetition on it and there's a lot of unoriginal content on it. How do you feel that the likes of you, I mean, I've seen your content on TikTok and it's all original, and I've seen other small businesses and they're all original. How do you think that people feel about the good stuff on TikTok? For what I say, the good stuff on TikTok.
Well, I mean, when you talk about repetition, I think that you're actually thinking about basically how TikTok runs. It runs on trends. And a lot of these are, they can be fashion trends, they can be food trends, and a lot of these trends also are built on humor and what's funny. And I wouldn't say it's so much of a repetition. It's just everybody, it's a third place community, basically. So when everybody hops in on that trend, it gets old after a while. Of course it does. Everything does. But it really feels like, because you find it funny and another person finds it funny and then everybody finds it funny, it feels more like a community experience than you would get on a lot of other apps that are it's a little bit harder to connect with a larger group of people at one time with those.
Now, you say that some of your friends that have small businesses within the community, they see a lot of revenue growth. I mean, it can't, honestly, can it be that much?
It is that much, actually, yes. The way that the algorithms work for Instagram, the way that they work for Facebook, for other platforms like X, they do not offer the exposure that TikTok does. And I can't personally tell you how that algorithm works. Honestly, nobody outside of the TikTok corporation can actually tell you how it works because they keep it a secret, that algorithm. But the way that TikTok is structured is super important to this. And I mean, I'll give you one example. This is on a larger scale. There's a thing called book talk. A lot of people were able to they saw a resurgence in reading over the last few years because of book talk. And you know who saw great profit from this?
Go on.
Large book selling corporations like Barnes and Nobles and like Books A Million. They actually saw their profits increase from this because it wasn't just, advertisements. It was people literally talking to each other, giving recommendations, encouraging each other to start reading again or to start at all. I mean, it's the community sense that actually is the foundation to anybody who's looking to make a profit. Okay.
So from what I'm reading and from everything that's coming through and a lot of articles I'm reading online, it's not 100% safe yet. I know President-elect Donald Trump is after saying that he's going to try his best to make sure that it stays within America. I mean, everybody else in the world can use it. If I give you the floor for 2 or 3 minutes and you can talk to the people that need to hear, what are you going to say to them to make sure that TikTok as a platform stays on our devices?
Well, I mean, as for your question about safety, let me ask you this. What social media platform is actually safe?
Oh, no.
Meta has already been caught selling our data to globally selling our data. So, I mean, at the same time, this ban targeting TikTok feels very, it just feels like targeted. And why are we not looking forward to more nuanced laws that will actually help to protect our data versus, just outright banning it or outright trying to do a smash and grab sale of this company that actually pledges to keep our data safe. Now, the data for US for TikTok is actually housed in the United States. It is not housed anywhere else. The employees who work for the US portion of TikTok are United States citizens, and they are the ones who work with that data. Now, I can't promise anybody that, it's completely 100% secure, but nothing is. I mean, you're talking to a generation of people who, like my age, I'm 28, we grew up without ever knowing privacy, without ever knowing data security.
Yeah.
So when you talk to us about this sort of thing, we're kind of like, it's already out there, man. it's already out there floating. People have already sold it probably a million times by the time I was, 12 or 14. Like they had probably sold my data a million times over.
I
at
mean,
that
yeah,
point,
we've
and
seen
they
it. We've
continue
seen
to do
our
it.
phones. Our phones are listening to us, and if we go onto any website, looking at anything, if we look at anything in particular, like I was looking at stuff for aviation, and all of a sudden I'm bombarded with lots of different things for aviation, and
Mhm.
it is there. It is definitely there. Well, Michaela, listen, thank you very much for taking time to give me a call this evening and to let your thoughts on TikTok be heard. So, if TikTok stays, and if the ban doesn't go into effect, you going to be happy?
I will be happy. Yes. I'm not going to say that I believe. I'm not going to be thankful for the actions that brought it about. I think that it was very much a seized opportunity, if you will.
Yeah.
I know that the show probably would disagree with me on that, but I will be happy. But I am concerned about how it's going to look. If it does get sold, that is the only way we get to keep it. If it does get sold, it's going to look different, and I'm very concerned about how it's going to look.
Michaela, thank you very much, and I really appreciate you taking your call. And is it too late to say Happy New Year? Look, I'm going to say it anyway. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Haven't seen you since last year, so Happy New Year.
There you go. Happy New Year. So now, there you go. So the youth have spoken. TikTok is it is useful. It has its uses. And a grumpy old fart like me, I'm looking at it, and yeah, I know. 44. I'll be 44 later this year. I'll be 44 in about 6 weeks' time. Oh, yeah. And yes, I know there's a lot of you out there and you're saying, 44, you're but a child. On the text line, based on the news, apparently TikTok is back and running. Yes, it is. I heard on TikTok in China has a lot of academic tutoring. I'd like to see more of that and less of the garbage that we get. Yeah, possibly would. And earlier on, we were talking a little bit about Irish writing. Texter texted into me on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 800 905 0989. He said, Odi, I forgot about the Irish line writing. And then in brackets, I tried to make a guess at the name of the script, but autocorrect keeps saying something naughty. Tell me what it says. Text it to me. Nobody else needs to know it. You're thinking of the OM writing. OM. I actually don't know how to spell OM, but it's OM. I think it's OAGHM. I think OM writing. And it's a series of lines on either side of a stone pillar. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WORD. This is the voice of the TikToks and the Carolinas, I suppose, and the youth and the older people. It's the voice of everything.
field is not level, never has been. I'm Nick Torbe, senior partner in the Wizard of Ads marketing group. We'll explain exactly what they're doing and how you can beat them this year. Together with 4 of my partners, we'll show you how to inspire 1 million people to think of you when it's time to buy. It's a half-day seminar called Unfair Marketing, Tuesday, February 11th at Hotel Hudson in Greenville. Normally, a morning with us costs $5,000, but in cooperation with Odyssey Broadcasting, this event is just $200, and there's no sales pitch, period. Seating is limited. Learn more and register at unfairmarketing.org. The time for your unfair advantage is now.
The Mike Gallagher Show. He's your happy conservative warrior. Spare me your righteous indignation over convicted felon Donald Trump. You're a joke in making that argument, and Trump's going to win in a landslide. I'm telling you, I believe this with the very core of my being. He's going to win easily on November 5th. Breaking news and what to make of it. Don't miss the next Mike Gallagher Show.
Weekdays at 10, right after Terra on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
If you own a timeshare,
Divided.
this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
Wait, I wouldn't spell it for me.
Unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare. Don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
On the stream, let me know your thoughts about the TikToks, please. Odie, thanks very much for bringing up the topic of TikTok. Text lines after just blowing up a little bit. 800 905 0989, Common Sense Retirement Planning text line. Odie, TikTok, I have found, is toxic, especially for our children. I almost lost my daughter because of the idiotic trends that they support. I went on to the TikTok website. Let me just see it here. Texter, if you don't mind me asking, roughly what age group is your kid? What age is your daughter? Is she okay? I hope she's okay now. I hope it wasn't anything too silly. But just out of curiosity, went on to the age limits, and I want to know. Don't forget, I want to know your thoughts about TikTok, as what you feel, whether TikTok should stay or should go. As you know, President-elect Donald Trump he's backing it. He is definitely backing it. He's trying to make sure that it stays within the realms of our portable personal devices. You want to call it that? Our phones. Yeah, it's everywhere. And we had Michaela, who was calling in from Clemson there, who was talking about it a few minutes ago. And she thinks it needs to stay because of how good it does. It does bad and does goods. Let me hear your thoughts. Your thoughts are very important. I want to know what you want to say. As I say, on the TikTok age limit, minimum age for use of TikTok is 13 years old in most regions, meaning you must be at least 13 to create an account and access the full features of the app. However, some areas may have different age restrictions depending on local laws. So the minimum age is 13. And why TikTok asks for your birth date, it doesn't, to me. So here's the thing. Okay. What age? First of all, what age should your kid be? Oh no, I wasn't going to talk about this tonight, but I'm going to, because I think it needs to be talked about. Because online bullying is a really big factor. And online trends, there is some stupid trends out there. There are some really stupid. Now, look, don't get me wrong. When I was a young fella running around the fields and the towns and the villages of Ireland, I did some stupid things. I did some very, very stupid things. I broke bones, but that was 40 something years ago. I did. I cracked ribs, broke bones, done stupid things. I never did anything like Tide Pods. No. Do you remember that? Yeah. But what do you think is the correct age for your kid to have a phone? So I know that you want to stay in contact with your kids because they're going to school and they're going out with their friends, and it's not like it was back in the day. No, it's not even slightly back in the day. It is now. There is so much violence, so much crime. I mean, we have to protect our families, and we do. And the Second Amendment helps me big time with that. But I'm just saying, just going to pop that one in there. How old do you think your kids need to be? Now, I know there's phones out there where they can only dial their parents. I think they're Fireflies, I think they're called. Not 100% sure. I know Firefly sticks out in my head. It's where you can only call your parents and maybe a grandparent or an uncle or an aunt or someone that's a trusted member of the family, brother, sister, older sibling or something like that. But are kids getting phones too early? Should they be on TikTok? Should your kids be on Facebook? I mean, as I said, there's a lot of stuff happening on Facebook. I go through reels. I look at reels on Facebook. I get information from my shows on it. And it's scantily clad girls. It is. And that's setting a precedence to young ladies. If you want to be famous, you have to dress like this or undress like this. That's BS. No. I mean, I follow some people on TikTok, and they're very funny. Comedians, and they're not getting naked. They're not taking clothes off. So I think, first of all, should the age limits be harder to set? And the only way I can think of doing that is, verification with a driver's license or an ID. But then again, we don't want to do that because you don't want to put your information of which social media has all your information. Don't even kid yourself. They know how old you are. I mean, on Facebook, my date of birth is on Facebook. When it's my birthday, it comes up. Oh, shared. It's Odi's birthday today. Not today. It's in March. They have your information, and it's very easy for the kid. Remember, kids are stupidly intelligent, ridiculously intelligent. My son, I could be going somewhere. I could be out and about, and my son will pick up my wife's phone and he will just call Dad. He's 4. He is 4 years old. He's able to unlock my wife's phone and call me. FaceTime. Hey, Dad, what you doing? Nothing, buddy. I'm in work. I can do it. So your 13-year-old kid can do anything. Yes, they can, 100%. Do you have conversations with your kid? Do you have a chat with your kid? Do you come in and say, look, here's the thing. This is something. So just for argument's sake, and I know the age is a little bit high, just say you got a 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid, okay? Well, for argument reason, I sit down with my 16-year-old Odi Jr., and I say, all right, buddy, here you go. Here's your iPhone. Got you an iPhone. Other phones are available. One condition. I'm going to look at your phone once or maybe twice a week. I'm not going to tell you when I'm going to look at your phone. We're just going to go through it. I don't want you looking at stuff you're not supposed to. You don't need to look at stuff you're not supposed to. And I want to go through your messages. And yes, I know you have the right to privacy because you're your own person at 16 years of age. But I'm your parent and I want to protect my son or daughter. And I don't want them to be exposed to something they shouldn't be exposed to. And I mean, at the end of the day, chances are you're paying for your kid's phone. You're paying for your kid to use the phone. So, it's kind of like, well, listen, buddy, I'm going to look at your phone. And if you're looking at naughty stuff that you shouldn't be looking at, I mean, look it. Young guys are going to be young guys. They're curious. They're going to look at stuff. Slap on the wrist. Stop it. Don't do that. Every man out there has had a conversation with their dad or uncle or grandfather at some stage because they were looking at something they shouldn't have. And they all told them, yes, they all told them at the same time, don't do it again. Your mother knows. And then you feel embarrassed and shamed and your head goes down. You're like, oh no. But it's not only that. It's not only that. It's the other side of it. If your kid is getting bullied, if your kid is experiencing online bullying and they're afraid to go and talk to you about it, and if you see it, if you can see it on their phone, you need to, first of all, you need to reassure your kid. Now, I'm not telling you how to be a parent because I'm only a parent of a 4-year-old, small little kid. If anybody bullies that young fella, the Irish will come out. But no, if your kid is being bullied, you need to let them know. First of all, it's a crime. They need to talk to you or a teacher. If you happen to be a younger person listening to my show tonight, and I'm talking to you now, okay? If you're experiencing any kind of bullying on your phone and on social media, if anybody is bullying you, if anybody is now this comes from a person. I was bullied as a kid, and then all of a sudden I grew really tall, and all of a sudden the bullying stopped. I can't imagine why. Talk to somebody. Talk to a parent. Talk to an uncle. Talk to an older sibling. Okay? Because the person that is bullying you is trash. They are. You are much better than them. You are 100% better than them. And this goes as well for adults. If adults are experiencing bullying in the workplace, talk to your HR. Do not feel intimidated. Don't. That's what HR are for. That's what your parents are for. And if you have a conversation with your kids about internet bullying, online bullying, or your spouse, or a friend, colleague, HR are there for you. If someone says, "Oh, you tell I'm going to do this to you," don't mind them. Tell. See what happens. Don't pander to that. So just there's something. If your kid is online, if your kid is looking at stuff, just make sure you keep an eye on it. As I said, you're paying the phone bill. You're paying the phone bill. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WRD. It is the voice of the Carolinas.
President-elect Donald Trump at a rally today in D.C. on the eve of the inauguration. Critics, including many Democrats, say his plans for tariffs will only hurt Americans. Cold enough for you? A polar vortex will plunge more than half of the nation into the deep freeze in the coming days, including parts of Texas. It's like in Dallas, ups and downs, and we're ready for this one. Some places could be almost 50 degrees below.
Sorry, stream. I had to go away there for a second. I was doing stuff. Robert, TikTok isn't the threat. Yeah, no, it is true. Yeah. Government needs to go strict on government employees instead of restricting its freedom. Yeah. Robert, I don't know. 16, man. I suppose 16-year-old kids are kind of. Oh. Water! Sorry, I'm listening to listening to the song playing. Waking up, ash and dust.
As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit.
On the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line, 800 905 0989. Odie, I'm going to start listening to you on Sundays. I like your show. And they're going to say, obviously, you won't say this. No, you don't know what Odie's going to say or not. I saw a comedian one night, I forget his name, and he was saying things, and he said the word, I'm not going to use the exact word, but he was talking about an adult toy. He said it 40 times, and everybody in the audience was going to get an adult toy information on their media. Well, it really happened. I 100% believe it. 100% believe it. Big Brother is always listening. Yeah, I've done that. Picked up my wife's phone and just talk about fishing gear, close to it. Just sometimes. Odie flip phones are the only way to go until kids grow up and move out on their own, possibly. And Texter was on earlier on about her daughter that was experiencing some toxic traits on TikTok. She was 13 at the time, but she's okay now, and I'm really good to hear. Delighted to hear that she's doing okay now. Now, as you know, Donald J. Trump is going to be taking office tomorrow at noon, and we are all very happy about that. Yes, we are. But illegal immigrants in Chicago are preparing for potential mass arrests following reports that President-elect Donald Trump, who is going to be president, yes, he is, his administration will target the area for deportation operations. Some immigrants have decided or have sent over power of attorney to trusted friends and made plans for childcare in case of separations. Okay. Trump aides have indicated that focus will be on individuals with serious criminal histories. And okay, yeah, others in the county illegally may also be arrested. Community and religious leaders in Chicago are ready to support the immigrants and urge them to remain calm and exercise their right. What rights? What rights? If you're an illegal immigrant, what rights have you got? Cop on to yourself, Chicago. Seriously. I mean, I am a legal immigrant. I have my green card. It's sitting in my pocket as I speak. So I'm not worried because I came to the country the right way. And to the person, I know this is not a grudge, not a grudge. The person that texted into the show about 2 weeks ago when I was doing a different show told me to go back where I came from. Why would you do that? Would you say that to your son or daughter? Or if somebody said that to your son or daughter, but I don't. Let people say, but what rights have you got? If you're an illegal immigrant in the country, what rights should you have? Zero. Immigration rights advocates have normal immigration. Yeah, legal immigration. I can understand that. Legal workshops are encouraging immigrants to be prepared for potential encounters with law enforcement. Is that all immigrants? Are you tarring us all with the one brush? I sincerely hope not, Chicago. And I would put it out there. If there is, I am very good friends with quite a few law enforcement people in the area. And if any of you want to come, I will show you my green card. No problem at all. 100%. Now, hang on, because that there, I need to do this. Yeah, I know, it's Donald's song. I know, Donald is singing to it, but you know what? I'm dancing to it as well. Actually, would you believe that the village people were dancing with the Donald tonight? They performed it live for Donald, and Donald was doing his dance. And the reason I'm playing it, if you're a regular listener to the show, you will understand the reason that Odi is playing the YMCA. Yes, it is. It is for two reasons. It is for the Donald. I'm proud of the Donald. But it is also because I have joined yes, I have. Week number 2 of letting you know what has happened. Wasn't a great week today or this week. No, it was. It had a great week. I'm only down. I know last week I was down about 4 pounds. I'm only down 1.2 pounds this week. Remember, I started my journey at 258.9 pounds. I am now down to 252.7. 2 full weeks, what I'm noticing already. And remember, I'm doing this for 2 reasons. One, because I need to feel better because I want to look better. You know, I want to lean up. Just pull the village people down there a little bit. I want to lean up. I want to feel better in myself. And what am I noticing in the last 2 weeks? 2 full weeks of training, going to the YMCA, doing a bit of walking, not running, a bit of walking and a lot of swimming. This week alone, I swam 3 kilometers, which is it's 40 lengths of the pool is 1 kilometer, and so that was 3 of those, which is 80, 120. So in the last week, I've done just over 120 lengths of the pool because it cooled down as well. And yeah, I know I'm not bragging even slightly. I was a triathlete, so I used to swim quite a lot. I'm just getting back into it. But what have I noticed? Well, earlier on tonight, I had to go downstairs here in the radio station, and then I was cutting it kind of short, so I had to run back up the stairs. And I was a little bit out of breath, but nowhere near as much as I was. Nowhere near as much as I was out of breath because I'm starting to feel a bit healthier. And I will say this other one is that my clothes are getting a little bit looser. You know, my jeans just a little bit looser, not as tight. Haven't moved in on a belt hole yet, but it's getting there. And here's another thing, right? Here's a big thing. is my resting heart rate has reduced a little bit, and my when I'm doing something, if I'm being active, my heart rate isn't getting as high as it used to, and that is only 2 weeks, and I'm starting to feel really good, sleeping better, and I'm more energetic, more giddy up about me. You'll probably hear it in the show. I'm a little bit bouncier tonight. I know, I'm very bouncy because the Donald is back in office tomorrow. Yes, he is. But I'm just, I told people when I started this journey, I was going to keep people up to date of what I was doing. I was going to keep people in the loop, and I'm going to continue to do it. And I want to hear your stories. I want to hear, as I said, not a resolution, not a New Year's resolution. It is New Year goals. My New Year goal is to get down to the weight I want to get down to. Stay there. Odie on the text line. I'm 45 and I was bullied as a kid, as was my father. He is 73-ish. A decade ago, he passed away. I'm very sorry to hear that. Very small man, but he popped his bully in the nose as he taught me. I popped my bully in the nose and never got bullied again. And I'm not saying to go and do that because we don't want to see all that kind of fighting and violence. But it wasn't violent back then. Joined the Army Infantry 11BC2. 11BC. I'm not too sure what that means. Anti-tank gunner, and spent 21 years in the to eliminate other bullies. There you go. Don't listen. If you're unlucky enough to have a bully, don't let them do it. Couple of things I like to advocate here on the show. One of them is that if you need help in any way, shape, or form, then you can get it. Ask for help and it'll always be there. Just like Hogwarts, Harry Potter, ask for help, it'll always be given. If you feel that you don't have anybody close to you that you can ask for help, you can always call the Suicide and Crisis Hotline, the Lifeline. It is 988. I've said this a few times before, 988. That's it. 3 numbers. If you don't want to talk to somebody, but you do need to reach out to somebody, you can also text. You can drop a text to the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline about anything that you, even if it's something small, you're like, oh no, that's too small. No, I'm not going to bother somebody with that. I'm not going to get into, no, I'm not going to bug somebody. Something that you think somebody else is going to find small. It's a big deal to you. It is a big deal to you. Everything that is in your life is a big deal to you. I really mean that. If it's in your life, it's a big thing. It's a massive thing. If you need to talk to somebody, 988. Call or text. All right? And I've said it before and I'll say it again. You can drop me a message on my Facebook instant or messenger, Odi Fitzgerald. I'll try my best to get you help. If you feel comfortable talking to this radio guy, then just drop me a message. That's what it's there for. So I'm here to help as best I can. And I'll put you in touch with people that understand better than I do. I'm just trying to help. And as I said, if there's somebody bullying you, talk to a parent, talk to your spouse, talk to HR, talk to whoever you need to talk to. There's lots of people out there. Lots of people are willing to talk to you. When I come back, let me tell you the final couple of bits and pieces that are happening around Washington, D.C. tomorrow when Donald J. Trump is back in power. News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. They got a good message from my buddy Danny. I need music. How is the night over already? Seriously. Oh, I'm blurry. Sorry about that. Unblurry. 11B is Army Infantry. Okay.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid. TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Attention humanoids. I'm Buggies. Join me for grounds.
And you're very welcome back to this Inauguration Eve. Yeah, Inauguration Eve. That's what I'm calling it. I love that song. Jerry Rafferty there in Baker Street. Every time I just go back to my my music days way back when. Sorry, I don't know. I look it. I like to do it. So Donald John Trump is going to be back in the Oval Office tomorrow, just after 12 o'clock. He's going to be sworn in at 12 o'clock. Coverage starts. Well, coverage is pretty much all day. Joey Hudson, who was on with me earlier on, he is currently up in Washington, D.C. at the inauguration ball. And he and Mike Gallagher will be talking tomorrow. They will be covering live the inauguration as it happens. So don't forget to tune in to those two guys here on Newstalk 98.9 WORD. You can get your thoughts and comments into me on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line, 800-905-0989. And would you believe, similar number, for the talk line. If you want to give me a call, you can get me on the PhD Weight Loss Program talk line, 800-905-0989. That's the only number you need in your phone. It's the only number. It is. So when Donald Trump gets into office tomorrow, what is going to happen? Well, a lot is going to happen straight away. He has promised that he's not holding back. He's going to go straight to work, straight into it. No hanging around. It's not going to be a day where he's like, I get into office and it's like, when you start a new job and you have the orientation for about 4 hours, 5 hours, and then you have a lot of stuff to do. No, just remember, Donald, he was in this job before. He's done a great job the last time he was president. I don't care what anybody says. He done a fantastic job. All ye naysayers. And actually, would you believe I'm going to be on Irish radio tomorrow morning? It's going to be very early in the morning. I'm going to be talking to a very good friend of mine, Joe Duffy, on Irish radio about the fact that I'm a Republican living here in America and what I think about it. As I say, you know, I've always been a bit of a Republican, even back in Ireland. And since I got here, you know, definitely Republican. And it's just, yes. So what are you saying, Odi? What's going to happen after tomorrow? Well, immigration policy is going to be a big thing. And it's something, as everybody knows, that is very close to my heart because, as we've said here many times and across all the different shows, Odie ain't from around these parts. No, ain't from around here. Came over here back in 1975 or something. I don't know. It was 2017 I first arrived on the shores of America. And so immigration has a big thing to do with me. You know, I've a lot of vested interest in it, I do believe. But yeah, but tomorrow, immigration is going to be a big thing. He's going to be building the wall. Actually, I've got another little clip from the Donald. He was talking about this today. Just have a wee little listen.
The American people have given us their trust, and in return, we're going to give them the best first day, the biggest first week, and the most extraordinary first 100 days of any presidency in American history. For the past 9 years, you and I fought side by side against the most sinister and corrupt forces on earth. And in our magnificent victory on November 5th, you showed them once and for all that this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you.
One thing I do love about Donald is that he doesn't stop, stammer, or he doesn't do it. Now, yes, I do know that Donald goes off into tangents ever so slightly, just a little bit. You know, if he's talking about somebody and then he goes off into, you know, a good person, good guy, wherever he knows the person, you know, he could be talking about Odie. Hey, Odie, good guy. You know, play golf with him once. Me, him, Charlie James. Charlie beat us all. Charlie's really good at golf. Yeah, look, no, before you even start, I know my Donald Trump impression needs work. I know it does, but I don't care. But yeah, what else is going to happen? So the immigration, he's going to build a wall. 2016 campaign started. He's going to build a wall. There's going to be mass deportation. It's going to be the biggest one ever. It's called the National Guard. He's empowering domestic police forces in the effort. Still going to happen. Taxes. Excuse me. Taxes. Donald Trump's tax policies, are going to broadly tilt towards corporations, and you know, he's mostly due to his promise to extend the 2017 tax overhaul. There's going to be some notable changes that include lowering the corporate income tax to 15%. It is currently 21%. It also involves rolling back the Democratic president. Remember that guy? Sleepy Joe Biden income tax increases on the for the wealthiest Americans. Scrapping inflation, reduction act levels that finance energy. We're going to see it because tax season is here. You know, we're all getting our W-2s. W-2s have come out. I think listen, I could be wrong, could be right. Is it the last of January? I think they all have to be posted. Tax season's here, and I think we're going to see a bit of a difference. The tariffs in trade. Well, Donald has. He said that international trade is going to. He distrusts world markets, and it is harmful to the American interests. He proposes that tariffs of 10 to 20% on foreign goods, and in some places he has mentioned that is going to be higher percentages. Now, here's the thing, okay? Correct me if I'm wrong on this one. Back in the day, 50s, 60s, 70s, did America have to buy anything in? Just enlighten me a little bit. I wasn't here. Not only was I not here, wasn't alive. Okay, 80s I was. I burst onto this planet in 1981, and it hasn't been the same since. But in the 60s, 50s, 40s, 20s, America didn't really need to bring anything into the country because, well, we made everything here. You know, should we be buying stuff from other places? You know, you can everything. The trucks. I drive a Ford, and you know, my next vehicle could be a Ford as well. And I know there's a lot of people out there that drive a lot of American cars. Some give out about them, some don't. You know, there's lots of American stuff out there. Do we need to rely on foreign goods? Do we need to bring in foreign goods? Just putting it out there. You know, it's yeah, just popping it out there. On the text line, Odi, thank you for your 988, especially for the veterans that need help. I think you should know that your show is at least once per show. Yeah, us combat vets. I tell you what, actually, Texter, if you want to give me a call after 9 o'clock, I'd love to have a chat with you. I really would. Just give me a call 800-905-0989. Just do it after 10 o'clock. All right, just give me a quick call and I want to have a chat with you. Okay. But yeah, no. So like, you know, and something else that the Donald is bringing in that I really appreciate. Something I really appreciate. I don't care what people want to do with themselves. If they want to call themselves whatever they are, do it. But don't make everybody else do it. If you want to call yourself a guy, if you're a girl, go for it. But Donald is rolling back on that. You know, he's saying that if you're a guy, you're a guy. If you're a girl, you're a girl. Don't expect us to call you something else. Don't. Tomorrow morning, Joey. Then we have Tara. Tara's going to be talking a lot about what's going on. And of course, Mike and Joey are going to be covering the inauguration. And we got Bill and Charlie wrapping up today or tomorrow. Great day. It's going to be a great day. I hope you're going to have fun. I'm going to have fun. I'll talk to you next week. Be good. Be safe. Look after each other. Slán a bhaile. Bye. All right, stream. I know I haven't been on it too much tonight, but, you know, have fun. Slán a bhaile. Talk to you later. Bye.